26 Morning News Extra. Connected to you.
Good morning, and thank you so much for joining us on Fox 26 Morning News Extra. I'm Sabila Vargas.
And I'm Melissa Wilson. So glad you're with us this morning. A local boy had to have his legs amputated when he was just a baby because of a rare disorder. We were with him the first day he got his new prosthetic leg several years ago. Today, it is amazing to see how far he's come, playing sports among the best of them.
Hit it!
4-year-old Calder Hodge is well known in Tomball as one of the most dedicated players on his team.
Go Calder!
He makes his way around the bases as fast as he can on his man-made legs, then goes in for the slide.
Let's go, number one!
Nothing takes away his love of playing sports, not even living without his own pair of legs.
Good job.
Besides, he likes these. We first met up with Calder 2 years ago, before he even understood what prosthetics were.
Stronger trick when you don't have your legs on.
Then we witnessed his first shaky steps.
There you go.
A few weeks later, he was already on the go, and there was no slowing him down. Baseball isn't his only passion.
Take me out to football.
What is your favorite sport in the whole world?
Football.
Are you going to play football someday? Yeah, I bet you'll be good at it. He got to be on the field for a Shriners game and has already developed friends with the big boys.
You want to tackle him? He's the quarterback.
Take him out to the ball game, and he enjoys hot dogs just like everyone else.
He has gone through 2 more sets of legs since we did that beginning interview, and he's gone from no knees to having knees to running and jumping, and just huge bounds, huge leaps and bounds from where he was whenever we started.
Here you go, big boy.
I've always wanted him to play ever since he was born, and he's just doing awesome. He's got a little more work to do with his new legs, but he's doing awesome. He hits the ball well, runs pretty good. You just got to get him to bending his knees a little bit.
I think he gets that inner strength from watching his brothers. He has his 3 older brothers who never cut him any slack. They never let him fall down, and they just get him back up and just keep him going.
3 older brothers, one who coaches Calder, all more than willing to take care of their little bro.
He's everything. He's like the best person in the world. If anything is wrong, he can come talk to us and solve the problem.
Calder means the world to his entire community and family.
Calder is the most courageous little boy that we have ever met. He is not scared of anything. He has no fear. He gets out there. He doesn't want to be any different than any other child, and so he doesn't let anybody treat him differently.
No matter what Calder does, he'll continue to hit it out of the ballpark. What a go-getter. Limbs of Love is a local organization dedicated to helping give people limbs for amputees. We're here with the group's founder, Joe Sansone, as well as Jody Graham, who started the Amputee Skydive Initiative a few years ago. Good morning to you both. Let's talk about Limbs of Love. What is that, and how do you help so many people?
Limbs of Love is an organization that we founded in 2006 to help the needy amputees that didn't have the resources for prosthetic devices. So we provide amputees that may have insurance coverage that just doesn't cover artificial limbs, or those who don't have insurance coverage, and get them the money that they need to provide them with limbs.
I have gotten to follow you on so many of these cases when people get to walk for the first time, and it is so touching. About how many people have you helped?
We've probably helped about 40 people to date, and probably donated a little over $1.2 million worth of limbs to these patients.
Oh, it makes such a huge difference and gets them literally back on their feet. Let's talk about how you got started with this huge initiative.
Well, the Airborne Amputee Skydive event started when I was talking to my prosthetist. I explained to him that I had gone skydiving before my amputation and wanted to do it again. And I was just asking, have other amputees done this kind of thing? Next thing I know, Joe and my prosthetist are approaching me with this challenge. Let's get other amputees together and show them inspire them to reach their abilities to do these things, and so that they can be more active.
And now you have a lot of people jumping out of planes.
Our last event, we had about 750 people.
Well, I'm so excited to say we're going to be showing a lot of that video in a little while, and it is just unbelievable to see that and the smiles on their faces. Does it help, do you think, them a whole lot with just every area in life, I would think?
It does. Just having the amputees together in one spot, they start talking to each other. It's served as a support for them. And we've also been able to raise money for our Limbs of Love program. All of the proceeds from our skydive event goes directly to Limbs of Love.
Joe, you have quite an unbelievable business. I've actually gotten to see them make some of these prosthetics, and you brought some today to show us what they look like on the inside. This is something that most people have probably never seen. Do you want to just pick this up and just give us a little look at how this works?
Well, what's interesting is in the past, we used to see where all of our patients wanted their prosthetic devices to look as much like their normal or their other limb as possible. But today we're seeing a lot of limbs where patients actually like to show off their prosthetic device. You know, today when we see so many of the wounded warriors or the active, attractive amputees coming back from the conflicts in the war, they like showing off their limbs. And this is an example of a microprocessor computer leg. And it actually has a computer in here that controls or helps aid the amputee in walking via the flexion and bending of the knee. So this is a good example of the skin and cover that we'll put on a prosthetic device, and actually what's inside the device as well.
And I think another thing that is so neat is I want to show this doll, and this helps children probably like Calder, the little boy that we featured a little while ago, and you've got the cute teddy bear there. This really helps, and she doesn't have a leg, and then you help put it on for her.
Absolutely. You know, body image is very important for our younger patients, and you know, I'll never forget one little girl who saw this amputee doll, and these children are used to being a little bit different than everybody else, and just to hear her squeal out, "That doll's just like me, it's just like me," it was so dramatic. So this really helps not only the amputee children, but also their teachers and family and friends learn about being an amputee.
Well, it is so rewarding to hear that you've got so many different programs and certainly products that will help children and adults alike go through this all. And again, we can't wait to see the video in just a little while of that skydive.
It's very exciting.
It's going to be unbelievable. Thank you, Jody and Joe, for being with us this morning.
Thank you.
Sabila, over to you.
Thanks a lot, Melissa. And Dr. Danielle Melton is the director of the amputee program at Tier Memorial Hermann. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you for having me.
All right, I know you were inspired by the last story, of course, but so tell us what you do at your program.
Well, I'm a physical medicine and rehabilitation doctor, and I work at Memorial Hermann and at Tier. And so we have a amputee program that we try to look at patients from the very beginning of the process throughout the entire process and long-term follow-up. So we, as rehab doctors, try and coordinate a multidisciplinary team so that it's not just about the surgery and the prosthetic, but also to coordinate all the efforts of everybody involved to make it a successful rehab program.
And through the years, I mean, many people have come in, right?
Oh, absolutely.
How many?
One of the, well, you know, we work at a facility that's the largest or the busiest trauma center in the country. And we also, just because of the increased incidence of diabetes, we see a lot of vascular amputees. And so we do see quite a bit of amputee patients, and so to be able to help them through that process is really key. And it's not just about one person. I mean, it's about the therapist and the prosthetist and the surgeon and the medical issues that they face, and so it is an all-encompassing, life-changing issue for them.
Of course, and it changes their whole life and their families as well.
Absolutely.
Tell us about some of the stories that have inspired you.
Oh gosh, there's so many. You know, one that comes to mind in particular is a gentleman who was hurt on the job, and he lost his leg as an above-knee amputation, and it was a very long process. He went through a lot of depression, went through a lot of pain management. It's ongoing issues that they have to face on a daily basis. And so for this particular gentleman, getting him back to work and in going through that process of trying to advocate for him with his workplace and getting him the right accommodations and work environment. That was key. And just recently, he started a nonprofit organization to help other amputees, to help with some of the issues that they're going with or dealing with. Also, just recently, he and his wife found out that they're pregnant. So that's kind of a nice thing to see him getting back to life and being able to do the things that he wants to do.
Unbelievable growth, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, that is wonderful. Well, thank you so much, Danielle.
Yes.
Melton, the director of the amputee program at Tier Memorial Hermann.
Well, thank you so much for having me and really promoting awareness of this issue, because I think long term it will help patients in dealing with what they have to deal with amputation. So thank you.
Thank you. All right.